Hi everyone! In this video, I'm going to talk to you about Chemistry Lab and how it's going to run this semester. I know a lot of you have a lot of questions, especially with COVID. I'm sure you have a lot of things that you're wondering about how this is going to work. So I wanted to go ahead and explain how we're going to be doing chemistry labs this semester. So this semester, we're primarily going to be doing online labs. So we're going to be using a virtual lab software called Beyond Labs, which you can go ahead and download and purchase a license for. So it's only $25 for the whole year. So it's not that expensive as far as softwares go. You will need it for this class. It is not optional. So feel free to go ahead and get that. It is required for this class. This is where you will be conducting all of your experiments this semester. This is the icon for Beyond Labs, by the way. Okay, so it's a pretty cool software. I think you guys will actually really enjoy using it. Now, there are a couple of course objectives, so things, i.e. that you're supposed to be learning this semester. So all of your assignments are going to be designed to help you achieve these goals in this class. One of those is analyzing data. So that means you guys are going to be looking at a lot of data, making a lot of graphs this semester, like this one up here in the upper left corner. You're going to learn how to do that and interpret their meanings. We're also going to have you learn how to operate common lab equipment. So this is going to be the in-person part of the lab. You're actually going to come in and you're going to work with some lab equipment. And then another course objective is for you to perform calculations relevant to chemistry lab. So that's math relevant to chemistry. That is chemistry math. So that is another course objective. And then the last one is designing good experiments that can be backed up with evidence. So you all will be working together a lot of times, making experiments and designing these, discussing these, trying to figure out how to do things in the Beyond Labs space. So because we have a virtual lab, these four things are going to be the focus of this course. So here's the grade breakdown for labs this semester so you can see what you're getting into. We have the lab equipment training, that's the in-person part of this course, which is 10% of your grade. We have discussions, which are a participation grade, which is 5% of your grade. We have pre-labs, which are 20% of your grade. This is a really big pre-lab. So normally you think pre-labs, you think, oh, I'll just do a couple of questions and whatnot. Pre-labs are a little bit more than that this semester, and I'm going to show you. And then our labs are 55% of your grade, so the majority of your grade is your labs. That's over half of your grade. And then you have a midterm exam as well, which is 10%. So pre-labs, essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to have a pre-lab one week and then the next week the lab experiment. So the idea of the pre-labs here is to help you learn how to use Beyond Labs because you're going to have to learn like what to click on and the software, and it's going to take a little while. So I've given you guys a whole week to learn how to use the software before you have to design an experiment inside the software to help minimize that learning curve there. It also kind of guides you through some of the math. So it lets you get adjusted to the lab space and how to operate it before you have to do more complex things with it. These pre-labs are going to be graded for accuracy and correctness, whether or not you got the answers correct. Now, your labs, which are 55% of your grade, are going to be more open-ended. They're going to ask you to utilize this lab space after you've gotten comfortable with it the previous week in order to answer open-ended questions. What that means is there is going to be multiple correct answers. There will not be one way to solve the problem. So because of that, these are going to be graded on a rubric. They will not be graded, say, for correctness, but things like completion, whether or not you described all the methods that you use fully and well, how clear your answers are, and how well I can tell what you did. Also, your graphs are going to be a big portion of your grade as well. Do your graphs represent what you did? Do they have the appropriate units? Can the conclusions that you draw actually be represented in your graphs? Or do your graphs say one thing and then your conclusion is another thing? Do those things mesh? And then there will be other categories depending on the lab that we do. Now, this rubric here will be on every assignment. So if you ever want to know what you are graded on, you will have the rubric on the Canvas page for the assignment, so you can always see where your grades are coming from. Discussions, like I said, are participation credits, These are going to be happening on weeks where you're doing the labs. Because these are open-ended questions, you guys might need a little bit more support than just doing these on your own. So we've tried to build this into the course. You also can access your instructor at any time. We also have a teaching assistant for this class. So if you ever need to meet with them as well, they will be available for you. Okay, so the discussions, there's going to be a separate video on how discussions work. So just go ahead and watch that if you have questions on discussions. Here's a tentative schedule of how things are going to work this semester. So the first week that you get in lab, we're going to start you doing equipment training as soon as possible. We've got to get you in the labs like ASAP because we can only have 4 people in the labs, so we've got to rotate you out every week. So we need you in there right now, starting work right now. Other than that, all you're going to be doing the first week is watching these welcome videos that are in this first module here. And these are going to be graded. Your equipment training is graded on accuracy, how well you've done things. There will be another video that describes how to do equipment training and what that is. So just jump to that. You'll see it in the equipment training module on Canvas, which I am also going to show you where to locate that. The next week, we're going to start our lab 2. So this will be the first round of what labs will kind of look like. The reason that there is no pre-lab for lab 2 is because you are not using Beyond Labs for lab 2. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right into that experiment. That week, you will also have a discussion meeting with your group so that you guys can discuss what you all are doing for experiments and try to get any assistance you need and feedback from your group. These will be graded on a rubric, so your labs are always graded on a rubric. Discussions are graded on participation. The following week, you'll start with a Beyond Labs lab. So you will have a pre-lab in order to get used to the software, how to do it. That pre-lab is going to be graded on accuracy. Then the next week, a normal lab and a discussion, which is a rubric and participation grade. And then these are going to alternate till the end of the semester. Pre-lab, lab, and discussion. Pre-lab, lab, and discussion. You also have a midterm in here. This is a tentative schedule, so I'm not sure this is the exact week when it will occur. I will let you know of these dates as soon as I get them up. And if you notice here, your last lab is a 4-week experiment. It's going to be a much bigger lab because it is a more complex Beyond Lab space and you can do a lot more with it. So I'm going to be asking more of you. So that's going to be a bigger assignment here where we take more time to complete that. Okay. Also on this video, if you have any questions, you can always ask them after the video. There's going to be a comment box for you. You can also contact me, email, Google Hangouts, Snapchat. I am available for you. If you need to figure out how to use these things, there is a video on how to use these methods of communication as well. So just go ahead and watch that video. All right, so equipment training schedule. Like I said, we're going to be rotating students through the lab this semester in order to get you used to working with equipment. You're going to have 4 sessions that are 60 minutes long this semester, where you come in and you work with equipment and you try to train and pass your training requirements on them. These have nothing to do with your labs. They are not related. They are a separate portion of your grade from labs, okay? So this is not like the in-person option for lab. There is no in-person or online option. There is only in-person and online. You have to complete both of these in order to get your grade for this class. So if you are taking this class all online, please go ahead and contact me if you've been cleared for that, because I do need you to come in for those 4 sessions that you were scheduled for. That is not optional, it is mandatory. Okay. So, all right, you should also have received your work times from me as well. They might be, I think they're going to be in a Google Calendar invite. Don't quote me on that, but I will be clear on how to communicate. So if you have not received those already, you need to contact me immediately because we're trying to get students in the first week of labs to start doing their equipment training. Please do not miss your equipment trainings, okay? We have a lot of moving parts here, and it's very important that you come in for your trainings because oftentimes we can't make them up because we have 130 students and we've got to get you all in the lab 4 times this semester, and we only have 4 spaces each time you come in. So please do not miss your meeting times and work times unless it is dire circumstances. We need you in there. If you feel like you are not going to be able to make your work time, contact your instructor immediately. You can contact me or Dr. Kaw and let us know. All right. Now, COVID has made things very difficult this semester, so please be patient with us and communicate frequently. We really need your help and communication and your patience with getting things organized as well. But do know that we are constantly on standby this semester so that we can respond to you. So if you send us an email, a Google Hangouts message, we will be there to answer you because we know that it's important to communicate with you clearly this semester. Okay, so here's again that tentative schedule so you can see it if you want to see it again. So keep in mind that as we are doing these pre-labs and labs, all in the background will be your in-person labs that you're going to be coming in to do. Again, it's only 60 minutes 4 times this semester. So it's not going to be every week that you're in the lab. That's not going to happen. It will be every 2 to 3 weeks that you're actually in the lab. Okay, so let's talk about student hours. So I have renamed my office hours student hours because a lot of students don't understand that office hours are our hours set aside for you, for students, for you to talk to us. I have a lot of students that tell me like, oh, I don't want to bug you, so I don't come to office hours. We like to be bugged. So please come, please communicate with us. It is so important this semester. And we really do like it when our students come to talk to us, okay? It lets us know how you're doing in the course. It shows us that you're motivated. It lets us get to know you better so we can actually help you more. So the more you can come talk to us, and especially during student hours, it's really important. You can ask questions about class. You can ask questions about academics or school things if you want, or we can just chat. Whatever you feel like we can help you with, please let us know. Student hours are times where we are 100% available for you. So please make sure you come bug us during those. All right, so I'm going to post my student hours below the video here, and Dr. Cause will also be there as well. So you can come meet with us in person or remotely as well. So we can send you a Zoom link, you can do Google Hangouts, whatever it is that you want to meet through, we'll make it work, okay? So if you want to come and say hi, even 5 minutes is really great to stop by just so I can see your lovely face and know who you are and know a little bit more about you. So come say hi sometimes. We would really appreciate it. Now, I want to end this video very briefly on academic integrity. This is very important. Every semester I have students that cheat in this class. It just happens. And every semester I catch students cheating. And it's a terrible experience for both the student and the instructor. We really don't like going through it, and the students don't really like going through it either. We both absolutely hate it. So I want to put this talk in here so that you understand why this happens and how we can avoid it, okay? So most of the time I see people cheat on things because they are absolutely desperate. They feel like they're backed in a corner, maybe they forgot about a due date, or they just have no idea what to do. And that's why most students cheat, okay? So if you feel like you're backed into a corner and you feel like you might want to hit that panic button and you might be tempted to cheat, go ahead and contact your professor immediately. We are here to help you. And no matter what, if you come to us and you're overwhelmed and you don't know what to do, it can be very, very helpful. I've actually had some professors, when students come in with issues, like say there's a family issue or something and they weren't able to get their homework done on time, and they actually come to their professor and tell them that, sometimes they can get a homework extension. So, I mean, that's not always the case, but let us know what's going on because we can't help you if we don't know what's going on. So here are some of the penalties associated with academic integrity so you understand why I really don't want you to do this and why it's not a good thing to do as a student. So if you cheat on an assignment, pretty much always what will happen is you will get a 0 for that assignment or exam. So expect that if you were caught cheating on something, you will get a 0 for that assignment. Oftentimes, it can result in a 0 for the entire class, all right? So you might fail a class because you cheated, which is not good. Now, if you get backed into a corner and you don't know what to do and you didn't complete your assignment on time, here's the other option, all right? You do poorly on that one assignment and maybe you get like a 30% on that assignment. It's still better than a 0, okay? So maybe you take a D or an F on that assignment. That's okay, it's one assignment. You have all of your other assignments to make up and pad that grade. And what often happens is when you do that for that one assignment, you often don't fail the class, okay? You don't get that automatic 0. So you might not do as well as you wanted, but it's a much better option than failing the class because you cheated. And If you do fail, you can always do better next time. You can do better on the next assignments. You can come to us and we will help you. It is always a better option to not cheat and ask your professor for help. Okay, we don't want to see this super frowny face on you, okay? All right. Now, here's the first thing that you do need to do for this class. Because, like I said, we need you in the lab this first week, and I hate pushing you guys to do this. I hate that we have to like rush you in like this, but it's just what we have to do with COVID, so I apologize. Please go ahead and watch the pipette training video because we need you to come in for your scheduled work time. That has to be done before you come into the lab. So go ahead and watch that equipment training introduction video and then the pipette training. That way you know what's going on when you arrive for your work time. And that needs to be done before the first day of class, okay? So it's important you get that done now. Finishing this first module with all these welcome videos and whatever is not due till next week. So feel free to go and skip straight to that pipette training video and get that done. So if this is the first day of class and you're watching this video, your pipette training is due today. If you have any questions, please email me or Professor Kaw. Let me type our emails out for you. So if you need to get in contact with us, mine is dsharp@su.edu and dka@su.edu. That is Professor Kaw's. Okay. And let me show you Canvas really quickly as well so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so here's Canvas. If you'll notice, I've clicked on the Modules button over here. This is really important. Modules are going to help you get to everything really easily. That's going to be your go-to menu tab over here for most things in Canvas. So this welcome and syllabus stuff, this is not due until your second week, all these little videos and pages, and they don't take too long to do. So I know it looks like a lot, but it really isn't. Now your equipment training, this video you need to watch, how equipment training will work, and then this pipette accuracy video, you need to get that done before you come into lab. There will be due dates on these as well that say they are due before your first day of class, okay? So Canvas will give you those notifications. And then normal labs will look more like this. So you'll have a pre-lab lecture where it's gonna be me talking to you, that's gonna talk to you about these chemistry concepts. Then you're gonna have your pre-lab the next week. So this will be the things that show you how to use the Beyond Lab software and how to do some introductory math. And then you'll have the experiment the next week. And you will also have discussions I need to put up on here. Okay, so that should be it. That's pretty much what Canvas is gonna look like. If you have any questions, just type them into the question box after this video or contact your professor. See you next time.